how do you go beyond your industry sector? In my experience of what I see, you know, the key is getting your first role. And these roles are so competitive, and probably you start, they're much less competitive as the stats I gave you earlier. On average, you're getting 10 applications for a pro bono role versus 40 applications for a commercial role. So it's much easier to get a pro bono role than it is to get a commercial role. And getting that pro bono role, what that does is it de-risks you in the eyes of a commercial board on whether or not you know how to operate as a non-executive versus being an executive. And they can go and reference you on that. So it helps on that. They can go and talk to the chair of your board and say, does this person understand where the line is drawn? When you come to interview, you're going to talk more knowledgeably about the role. And so when they're thinking at you, they're not having to think both, I need to take a risk on can they operate as a non-executive, and I need to take a risk on them, how they fit in the board, and the sort of the expertise that they bring to that board. But you've sort of removed that non-executive question away from the table. So if you can go first get that pro bono role, and then first go get that role where in the paid space where you stand out most. So whatever your industry expertise, chances are that is going to be where you stand out most first. And then once you've got that role, you know, what we tend to see people doing is, you know, they'll get a role in a particular industry, and then they might end up going on to the, I don't know, the audit committee or something like that, and then using that to get an audit role in another industry, and then they sort of work their way across. Or I don't know, they've gone into you know, sort of a bunch of digital expertise people who went into a sort of government role in a particular industry to bring their digital expertise, and then transitioned away from that, or leveraged the experience that they got in that government sector into another sector, because suddenly they were seen as a government as well as a digital expert. So it's about building it piecemeal and stepping across one at a time.